Hello everyone. Today we will talk about rolling out the performance management system. Chapters 4 and 5 focus on the operational aspects of defining and measuring performance, while Chapter 6 delves into performance analytics, which involves gathering and organizing performance data. The current chapter, the final one in Part 2, continues to explore operational challenges related to implementing a performance management system. Key steps for rolling out the system are emphasized, including the establishment of clear communication channels to facilitate feedback and appeals, which are essential for gaining acceptance. Additionally, implementing training programs is crucial to minimize unintentional errors in performance ratings. Conducting pilot tests of the system can also help identify potential issues before full-scale implementation. Monitoring the system after its rollout is vital to ensure it operates correctly and meets its objectives. This oversight helps maintain the integrity of the performance management process. It is important to clarify that implementation does not only refer to launching a new system from scratch. Many organizations may already have some form of a performance management framework, though it may be outdated or ineffective. Therefore, implementation can also involve revising and improving existing systems, particularly in scenarios where new leadership seeks to enhance performance management practices. These steps are essential for ensuring that the performance management system is applied effectively and ethically within an organization. Communication Plan Overview. A well-structured communication plan is crucial for the successful implementation of a performance management system. Better knowledge of the system can significantly enhance employee acceptance and satisfaction. Such a plan enables the dissemination of information about the performance management system throughout the organization and answers several critical questions. Key questions addressed by the communication plan. What is performance management? This section provides a broad overview of performance management, detailing its implementation in various organizations and its overarching goals. Clear definitions and explanations help employees understand the fundamental purpose of the system. How does performance management fit into our strategy? This part explains the alignment between performance management and the organization's strategic goals. It emphasizes how the performance management system aids in accomplishing strategic objectives, building on concepts discussed in previous chapters. What is in it for me? A good communication plan outlines the benefits of the performance management system for everyone involved, highlighting how it contributes to individual and organizational success. How does it work? A detailed description of the performance management process and timeline is essential. This includes information about scheduled meetings, their purposes, and the timeline for making decisions regarding rewards. What are my responsibilities? The plan clarifies the roles and responsibilities of various stakeholders throughout the performance management process. This includes defining the responsibilities of both employees and supervisors. How is performance management related to other initiatives? This section illustrates how the performance management system connects to other organizational initiatives, like training, promotions, and succession planning, ensuring a cohesive approach. Example: Department of Justice. An illustrative example can be seen in the performance management system for the Senior Executive Service, SES, within U.S. federal agencies, such as the Department of Justice. Their communication plan effectively addresses the critical questions outlined above. What is performance management? The plan articulates the rationale behind implementing the system, highlighting its goals of promoting efficiency, accountability, and effective achievement of the department's mission. How does performance management fit into our strategy? It outlines guiding principles and illustrates how agency leaders communicate their vision, creating a clear alignment with strategic objectives. What is in it for me? The document provides specific insights on how the performance management system will enhance the effectiveness of SES members in their leadership roles. How does it work? The plan details the performance management process, including the responsibilities of managers and the criteria for performance ratings. What are my responsibilities? It defines the roles of SES members and their evaluation officials, emphasizing the importance of nurturing a high-performing culture. How is performance management related to other initiatives? The plan briefly discusses the connections between performance outcomes and pay, as well as the role of training in maximizing performance. Dealing with cognitive biases and resistance to change. Cognitive biases can significantly hinder the effectiveness of a communication plan, especially in the context of implementing a performance management system. The three primary biases are selective exposure, selective perception, and selective retention, and they are often exacerbated by a lack of interest in or resistance to change. Types of cognitive biases. Selective exposure. This bias refers to the tendency of individuals to seek out information that aligns with their pre-existing beliefs. Employees who already view performance management positively may engage with the communication plan, while those who are skeptical may avoid relevant materials and meetings. Selective perception. Here, individuals interpret information in a way that aligns with their beliefs, even if it contradicts the intended message. For instance, an employee might misinterpret performance feedback as solely about rewards, overlooking its constructive aspects. Selective retention. This bias causes people to remember information that reinforces their views while forgetting details that do not. An employee with a negative view of management may ignore information about fair appeals processes, focusing instead on their biases. These biases can render a communication plan ineffective, but there are strategies to mitigate their impact and foster support for the system. Strategies to minimize cognitive biases. Involve employees. Engaging employees in designing the performance management system increases their investment and support. Higher participation leads to greater acceptance. Understand employee needs. Identifying and addressing the specific needs of employees can enhance their engagement with the system. For instance, determining if employees desire more feedback or developmental opportunities can lead to tailored support. Strike first. Proactively foster a positive attitude towards the system before negative perceptions or rumors emerge. Communicate realistic expectations and address potential counterarguments directly. Provide facts and consequences. Given that biases can distort facts, it's essential to clearly explain the system and its implications. Written communications, often viewed as more credible, should be made available online for thorough examination. Use multiple channels of communication. Repeated exposure to the same message through various channels, like face-to-face meetings, emails, and videos, can reinforce understanding and acceptance, provided the messaging remains consistent. Use credible communicators. Effective communication should come from trusted sources within the organization. Relying on respected individuals can enhance credibility and acceptance of the performance management system. Repeat information. Frequent repetition of key messages is necessary, as employees can retain only limited information at once and may resist change. Continual reinforcement helps cement understanding. Example: Department of Justice Communication Plan. The Department of Justice serves as a practical example of a communication plan that actively tries to mitigate cognitive biases and cultivate support for a performance management system. The Office of Personnel Management, OPM, tailored the system to various agencies, encouraging employee involvement and addressing their unique needs. A credible source, such as the director of OPM, set a positive tone by invoking themes of patriotism, linking the performance management system to service to the American people. The plan outlines the reasoning behind system changes, including realignment with the fiscal year, ensuring clarity and transparency. By making the communication plan accessible on the department's website and providing links to additional resources, the DOJ attempts to enhance understanding and trust. Although it's uncertain if other media, like short videos, were utilized, the overall approach exemplifies effective strategies to counter cognitive biases and resistance. Appeals process. Including an appeals process in a performance management system is crucial for nurturing employee acceptance and trust. This mechanism provides a way for employees to address disagreements regarding performance ratings or related decisions in a fair and non-retaliatory manner. By allowing for questions and disputes to be resolved, the appeals process not only promotes transparency, but also enhances the overall perceived fairness of the system. The appeals process addresses two primary categories of issues: judgmental and administrative. Judgmental issues focus on the validity of the performance evaluation itself. For instance, an employee might believe that their manager's performance rating does not accurately reflect their contributions or work outcomes. On the other hand, administrative issues concern whether established policies and procedures were followed during the evaluation process. An employee may assert that their supervisor provided less frequent or less thorough feedback than their colleagues, affecting the fairness of their evaluation. By accommodating both types of concerns, the appeals process acknowledges the complexity of performance assessments. Typically, the appeals process involves multiple levels. At level 1, when an appeal is first filed, it is generally directed to the HR department, which serves as a mediator between the employee and the supervisor. HR professionals are positioned to assess whether the policies and procedures were implemented correctly, as they have insights into performance expectations and the performance levels of employees across the organization. HR gathers relevant information and communicates it to either the supervisor for re-evaluation or the employee to clarify why the original decision was upheld. If the dispute remains unresolved at level 1, the appeal escalates to level 2, where an external arbitrator, usually a panel of peers and managers, reviews the case. This panel conducts interviews, asks questions, and examines relevant policies before voting on a decision. In some cases, this decision is final. In others, it may be forwarded to a higher-level manager who considers the panel's recommendation in making the final determination. This structure ensures that multiple perspectives are considered, which can contribute to a more balanced outcome. When comparing this appeals process with the University of Lethbridge's approach, it is clear that both aim to provide a structured avenue for resolving performance evaluation disagreements. The university's process articulates the steps involved, timelines, and possible outcomes, reinforcing a sense of fairness and objectivity. However, there are several elements that could enhance their system further. For instance, Clearly outlining the grounds for appealing a performance rating would help employees understand the criteria for pursuing this option. Additionally, providing access to support resources, such as counseling or advocacy services, could help employees navigate the appeals process more effectively. Furthermore, incorporating mechanisms to collect employee feedback about the appeals process itself can help ensure that it remains fair and effective over time. Communication of outcomes and subsequent adjustments to the performance management system based on appeal results would demonstrate responsiveness to employee concerns. Training programs for minimizing unintentional rating errors. Training raters is a crucial step in preparing for the rollout of a performance management system. Effective training not only equips participants with the necessary skills and tools for implementation, but also enhances overall satisfaction with the system. While discussions about minimizing intentional rating distortion are important, addressing unintentional errors is equally essential for ensuring accurate performance evaluations. Unintentional rating errors can significantly hinder the effectiveness of performance management systems, often leading to widespread criticism. Rater error training, RET, aims to make raters aware of the common errors they may encounter and provide strategies to minimize these mistakes. The primary goal of RET is to enhance rating accuracy by educating raters about the types of unintentional biases they might unknowingly exhibit. RET programs typically involve several key components. Participants are introduced to common rating errors, along with their definitions and potential causes. They engage in activities that allow them to view examples of typical errors and learn how to avoid them. For instance, trainees might watch video vignettes that intentionally elicit rating errors, after which they complete appraisal forms based on what they observed. This interactive approach helps participants understand the discrepancies between their ratings and the ideal evaluations, fostering greater awareness of their rating practices. Despite the benefits of RET, it is important to note that simply becoming aware of these biases does not guarantee increased accuracy. While raters may recognize potential errors, the unintentional nature of many mistakes means that awareness alone might not suffice to prevent them from occurring. However, exposing raters to the range of possible errors can be a valuable first step in improving their evaluation skills. Some specific types of unintentional errors include the similar-to-me error, where raters unconsciously favor employees who share similar traits or backgrounds. The contrast error occurs when raters compare individuals against one another instead of against established standards, leading to skewed ratings. The halo error refers to raters failing to evaluate performance dimensions independently, while primacy and recency errors emphasize biases linked to the timing of information recalled during the evaluation period. Moreover, the negativity error reflects the tendency to weigh negative information more heavily than positive incidents, whereas the first impression error occurs when initial judgments overshadow subsequent evidence. And stereotype error involves biased evaluations stemming from oversimplified views of individuals based on their group membership. Lastly, attribution error happens when raters mistakenly attribute performance to an individual's traits rather than external situational factors. To mitigate the persistence of these errors, training programs must go beyond mere awareness. One effective approach is the implementation of frame of reference training. This advanced training method helps raters establish a consistent standard for performance evaluations, allowing them to better differentiate between levels of performance. Such training can provide the foundational understanding needed for fair and accurate assessments, ultimately improving the effectiveness of the performance management system. Frame of reference, FOR. Training is a structured program designed to enhance the accuracy of performance ratings by providing raters with a deep understanding of the performance dimensions they need to assess. The primary objective of FOR training is to establish a common frame of reference among raters, enabling them to minimize unintentional errors and deliver precise evaluations across a variety of performance metrics. This training typically begins by outlining job descriptions relevant to the employees being rated, detailing specific duties and expectations associated with those roles. Raters are then introduced to the performance dimensions they will evaluate, including definitions for each dimension and examples of good, average, and poor performance. This foundational knowledge is essential as it prepares raters to effectively use appraisal forms during evaluations. During FOR training, participants engage in activities such as assessing fictitious employee performances through video vignettes and justifying their ratings. This exercise not only reinforces their understanding of the evaluation criteria, but also encourages critical thinking about their assessments. The trainer reviews correct ratings for each dimension, explaining the reasons behind them and addressing any discrepancies between the ratings provided by trainees and the target scores. The structured steps of the training process involve evaluating employees across performance dimensions, discussing performance behaviors, and receiving feedback to align ratings with target scores. An illustrative example of effective FOR training can be observed in the Canadian military, where the program emphasizes the importance of performance management systems in a military context. Raters learn to evaluate direct reports, engage with appraisal forms and scales, and participate in discussions that include practical examples of behaviors associated with different performance levels. Video clips of soldiers performing tasks are used to reinforce learning, with trainees rating behaviors and receiving constructive feedback on their evaluations. This collaborative approach fosters a shared understanding of performance criteria and enhances the effectiveness of the training program. While implementing FOR training requires a significant investment of time and effort, the benefits outweigh the costs. By establishing a shared perspective on performance standards, raters are more likely to provide consistent and accurate ratings. This shared understanding facilitates the development of effective development plans for employees and enables supervisors to offer better guidance. Ultimately, FOR training fosters an environment of growth and improvement within the organization by equipping individuals with a unified sense of what constitutes good performance. Behavioral observation training. Behavioral observation, BO, training is an effective approach aimed at minimizing unintentional rating errors within performance management systems. This type of training focuses on enhancing raters' skills in observing, storing, recalling, and utilizing information about employee performance. By refining these observational skills, raters become better equipped to provide accurate and fair assessments. A key aspect of BO training involves teaching raters how to use observational aids, such as notes or diaries. These tools help raters systematically record a predetermined number of behaviors related to each performance dimension throughout the review period. By employing these aids, raters can increase the variety of incidents they observe and document, leading to a richer and more comprehensive understanding of employee performance. Additionally, such aids serve as memory supports, counteracting distortions that may arise from relying solely on memory. Factors such as the social context, like friendship bias, and the duration of the supervisor-direct report relationship can lead to inaccuracies in rating if not properly managed. The Canadian military exemplifies an effective integration of BO training alongside frame of reference (FOR) training. Their program incorporates sessions that focus on the importance of behavioral observation and common errors associated with it, such as first impression bias, stereotypes, and halo effects. This dual approach ensures that raters are not only equipped with a common understanding of performance standards, but also the skills necessary to observe and document behaviors effectively. In practice, participants in the Canadian military's BO training learn to maintain diaries and take notes on their direct reports throughout the year. The training includes a comprehensive discussion of the criteria for each performance dimension, supplemented with written descriptions of various performance levels. Participants are encouraged to practice diary keeping while watching video clips used in the FOR training, enabling them to simultaneously observe behaviors and note their outcomes. This hands-on practice is vital for solidifying the skills necessary to provide accurate ratings. Pilot testing. Before fully rolling out a performance management system, conducting a pilot test is a prudent approach. This test allows the organization to assess the entire system in practice, ensuring that necessary adjustments and revisions can be made prior to widespread implementation. During the pilot phase, evaluations are not recorded in employee files. Instead, the process is executed in full, covering all steps from supervisor-employee meetings to gathering performance data, designing developmental plans, and providing feedback. This comprehensive approach allows for the identification of any issues that may arise in real-world application. The most critical aspect of pilot testing is that participants maintain detailed records of any challenges they encounter, whether these relate to the appraisal forms, performance measurement methods, or feedback mechanisms. This documentation is invaluable for pinpointing potential flaws in the system before it is implemented organization-wide. The pilot test thus serves as an opportunity to gather information from user perspectives, revealing how well the system functions, identifying unforeseen obstacles, and collecting recommendations for improvements. Additionally, involving a small group of users in the pilot phase can foster early acceptance of the system, allowing these participants to act as advocates within the organization. This reduces the onus on the HR department to champion the initiative alone, as stakeholders who are directly engaged in the process can help promote it. In larger organizations, selecting the right group of employees for the pilot test is essential. This group should consist of managers willing to invest the necessary resources and who are open to trying new approaches. Additionally, it is crucial to ensure that the selected group is sufficiently large and representative of the broader organization. The chosen participants should reflect the diversity of job roles and performance levels within the company, avoiding bias toward particularly high or low-performing individuals. For instance, the Gap Inc. effectively conducted its pilot testing in a single store, serving as a self-contained business unit to evaluate the revamped performance management system. Pilot tests provide a wealth of information that can drive improvements to the system before its full implementation. By identifying potential problems early on, organizations can save time and resources, preventing issues from escalating into irreversible failures that could undermine the credibility of the system. A case in point is the Washington State Patrol, which recognized the need to revise its performance management system amid changes in other jurisdictions. They established a committee to develop new appraisal processes and conducted pilot tests in 2 districts. This involved initial training sessions that encouraged employees to discuss their roles and expectations regarding the new system, fostering an inclusive environment for feedback. The training sessions played a vital role in addressing operational challenges before broader rollout. Following revisions based on participant input, the refined appraisal process was presented for approval from various stakeholders, including troopers' and sergeants' associations. A select group of individuals received train-the-trainer training, thereby equipping them to facilitate the rollout agency-wide. Each step in this process was crucial for uncovering potential obstacles that could hinder the successful implementation of the new performance management system. Ongoing monitoring and evaluation. Once the performance management system has been implemented organization-wide, it is essential to establish clear metrics for ongoing monitoring and evaluation. This process not only assesses the system's effectiveness, but also gauges the success of training programs aimed at minimizing rating errors. Key questions to address during this phase include: how to evaluate the system's effectiveness, how to monitor the adherence to the planned implementation, how to assess whether the system is achieving its intended outcomes. As an example, the U.S. federal government emphasizes the importance of evaluating performance management systems. Legislation, such as the Government Performance and Results Act, mandates federal agencies to develop strategic plans and performance reports, increasing accountability and directing funding based on performance. Evaluation techniques. To effectively evaluate a performance management system, consider the following methods. Employee participation rate. Assess the number of employees who have undergone performance evaluations. Identifying who has not been evaluated and understanding the reasons can help address gaps in the system. Quality of performance data. Analyze the open-ended feedback in appraisal forms. How detailed are the responses, and how relevant are the examples provided? This metric can indicate the rater's engagement and understanding. Follow-up actions. Evaluate whether the performance evaluations lead to meaningful development activities. Are supervisors or employees primarily driving these actions? A balance is needed to ensure employees are engaged in their development. Performance discussion quality. Distribute confidential surveys to gather feedback on the effectiveness of performance discussion meetings. Are the discussions relevant and useful? Do they foster a culture of continuous feedback? System satisfaction. Regularly gather opinions from raters and rates about the system. Questions can assess equity, usefulness, and accuracy, providing insight into user satisfaction. Cost-benefit ratio or ROI. Ask participants to rate the overall value of the system. This straightforward metric can reveal the tangible and intangible benefits of the performance management program. Unit and organizational performance. Monitor metrics such as customer satisfaction and financial performance to ensure these indicators reflect improvements following the system's implementation. Changes may take time, so be patient with expectations.
Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to channel.